Welcome back to Be Somebody.
Welcome back.
My name is Amadeo.
I'm Enrique.
Be Somebody is a network of enthusiasm, a platform for positivity, and a space for, us to help ourselves and each other.
Yeah.
And by inspiring one another, hopefully,
Right.
we can inspire you as well.
Yeah.
So
I was
sorry.
I would say the whole goal is
I got too
having a
excited.
community of people that can be vulnerable, be authentic, and have a positive space to essentially grow and learn from. And from that value of Be Somebody comes what we're introducing, which is essentially the community episode.
Yeah, brand new format. These are called community episodes. So while it does look like we're here in our usual studio and our usual setup, sitting on this couch, like talking to each other, we do want to kind of go beyond the couch.
We're going beyond the couch.
As we've established, and try to pull from stories in the world, and especially from stories that our listeners have shared with us, whether that be a question, a story, an experience. This is something that I'm going through right now. Like, what do you think? And discussing it from our perspective as an opportunity to kind of expand our own understanding of these things that occur to us in our lives, you know?
Exactly.
So
yeah,
I'm not saying I got the answers, but I would love to talk about it from the very best. Do the best that I can.
For sure. Yeah. And then before we get started, we just want to disclaim, obviously this is, some of these are vulnerable topics, and the whole point of it is just to have a conversation about it. That's about it, So we urge you to join us in the comment section to give your opinion on things that are said and stuff, because again, it's a conversation. Not all of us have the answers to it, but it starts with being okay to talk about it.
And that's what this whole thing is all about, where this podcast started in the first place because I've had all these incredible conversations with Enrique throughout the last 12 years, 16 years. That's kind of a big range that we've known each other. And feeling this momentum in my life, this inspiration, this realization that all these amazing things that I feel are possible, they might actually be possible.
Yeah. So
let's give it a shot. And that's what I would like to spread to y'all.
Exactly.
At least that's my intention.
Cool. Let's get started with the first.
So we've gone ahead and we've collected a few stories that we've found online. And we're taking it entirely from what would we do in this situation? How would we approach
what would we do? But also, if Amadeo was coming to me with this, they're going through this, what would I say? What would he say? Vice versa. And in general, the whole hopes is to open up this eventually to that our actual community, and have people sending in questions, stories that we can directly talk to y'all about it, and not just us, but open it up for the whole community to talk about and discuss.
Precisely. So it doesn't just become us with our specific opinions. It just becomes it's a discussion. It's we talk about it. It's a community.
So we can go beyond the couch.
Beyond the couch. So whatever that might be.
Right.
Feeling supported, feeling like someone's got your back, someone's listening to you, and someone cares.
Exactly.
Above all, be somebody who cares.
Exactly.
Let's get into it.
Cool.
So real quick, we don't read comments. We don't read any response from anybody. All these opinions are entirely our own.
In terms of these posts is what we're saying.
Yes.
These are stories we found on the internet, and we're just taking it at face value from the person that posted it, and we're not necessarily seeing what the internet does in the comment sections of these stories.
Exactly.
So we're just reacting solely off of.
So this is purely
the story.
our respective thought processes.
Yeah, exactly.
Involving
that's exactly what it is. For
these circumstances.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Here we go with the first one. I'm 23, and I just realized I haven't enjoyed life in 6 years. I think I'm breaking down.
In 6 years.
Heavy hitter, man.
Yeah.
We're already going for it.
I know. First story, we're already going in.
There's no light work around here, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. So, they're 23. Their birthday is in a few months. They mentioned that today, at the time of posting this, they had a painful realization that caused them to cry, to break down in tears. They were watching a YouTuber out on a vacation with their friends in Barcelona, living this life that seems so fun and memorable and incredible.
Right, which we're all prone to, being on social media, we see every day.
Yeah, so, fireworks, restaurants, great food, great laughs, amazing memories, fancy things, just being out there in a different place and enjoying the world, seeing the world, taking in new culture. They say that watching this video, they all of a sudden had a realization, like, when was the last time I actually had fun and enjoyed my life like these people on this screen are doing right now? They say that they realize it's been 6 years since high school. Remember, this person is 23 years old. They feel as though they haven't had any fun since high school. Nothing. They say they stay home all day, they lie in bed, they scroll endlessly on their phone, doing nothing, getting nowhere, making no progress, no motivation, no energy, no purpose, no direction. They say they don't have friends, like actually none. Maybe one person that they barely talk to. Don't really say any more about that specific relationship. They go on to say that their family doesn't even check up on them. Nobody ever asks how they're doing. And they say, it feels like if I disappeared tomorrow, no one would notice. They're broke. They have no social life. They feel as though they've wasted their early 20s already. While everyone else is seemingly moving forward, doing incredible things, reaching milestones. And today, it just hit them all at once. They say as though they've been alive without actually living.
Oof.
Stuck, empty, lost. As if they blinked and then 6 years have gone by and they're still in the same bed, in the same room, doing the same thing. They don't know how to fix this. They don't even know where to start. They feel they just need to let it out because they can't talk to anyone. They don't have anyone that they can turn to in real life about this. So they've gone ahead and posted this online. They go on and ask, has anyone else felt like this? How did you turn it around? When you felt stuck and isolated, how did you go beyond that? And they say, just right now, I just feel like I'm drowning in my own life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I think you and I have talked about this tremendously a lot in terms of, I mean, we live in Los Angeles, this is the capital of, the whole influencer, people posting the best lifestyle they've always had. So it's hard to look at all this on your phone and be like, oh, why am I not doing this? Why am I not traveling? Why am I not having the best time of my life? But, as it's hard, because you want to automatically hit them with all these things, people post the best moments on the internet. They don't post the low points. You want to hit them with, oh, you're young, you have so much ahead of yourself. You can turn things around. But to address their core certain emotions and feelings, is hard because everyone has felt that with this new age we're in right now. And it's hard to it's easy to say snap out of it because it's not real, but really being in that trance that is the the scrolling,
it is real. It becomes real.
It's a trance. You literally just fall into it,
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to not start tying your value, your everything based on numbers that are on this platform. It's hard. I think, again, we've talked about tremendously a lot. I'm glad I've had Amadeo my whole life as a good close friend because he talks a lot about he only has one friend. That's such a huge thing about the closest 5 people around you make up who you are. And if you don't have anyone, that is tremendously lonely.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard. I mean, what are your initial thoughts feeling it before give any other advice?
Has anyone else felt like this? They ask. Yes, I have.
Right.
I'm 27. At 23, to this day, I still feel as though sometimes I've wasted a lot of precious time that I haven't done maybe what I should have done, quote, should have, unquote, or have reached the heights that maybe I set for myself, or like these expectations that I created whenever that might have been, in high school, in college, in my mid-20s, thinking about, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, this is exactly how I'm going to get there, and then having all of that kind of not happen the way that I expected, and then feeling as though, what the heck, man, I haven't made any progress. What's going on?
Right.
I'm definitely, like, I'm only getting older. This is running out. I feel like I'm stuck in the same routine. Like, I feel like I'm working hard, but what am I doing? I'm not going anywhere. I've talked about this before with multiple people, where I've shared that I have felt like a hamster on a wheel, like going, like grinding, like really fucking just going.
But you're not moving anywhere.
You don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not like the wheels actually, you're stuck in place.
Right.
And you're exerting yourself a lot. I realized at the lowest point, when I felt as though I were lost, I had no purpose, no direction, I don't know what is going on, I have no goals that seem to be actually working out. I just want to say that this is an incredible realization. This is a very important realization, because I've heard experiences of people much later in life than 23 with this exact feeling.
Right. Yeah.
Waking up to this realization, or never even having it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like very, like, hats off to him to like have that internal realization of what's going on.
This is what I would love to call, and what I've kind of like felt before, an inflection point, or like the moment where you pivot, because you've come to this realization, you have the self-awareness that I'm living a life that I do not like. I'm not satisfied. This is not fulfilling. I'm not going anywhere. I know, I can feel it, that I have potential, that I have some things that I want to get done. And even though I may not have a crystal clear picture of what that is, I recognize that there needs to be a change, and a change has to occur before that transformation or this clarity can actually, happen. So if it were me and I were saying these things, and I feel like I have actually said these things to you, that's the first step. Even if you say it to a stranger on the internet who you will never know their real name, their real face, saying this, typing it out loud, whatever, that's a massive, massive first step. And then from there begins the real work.
Right.
Where I'll let you contribute, where you say, I'm going to be uncomfortable, but which uncomfortable do I prefer? The feeling of discomfort involved with living this life I don't like, or the feeling of discomfort of trying to break out of this pattern? Because you're going to be uncomfortable either way, but one may actually lead to a positive outcome.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think even just like, I think just stress, because I think it's so important, like being vulnerable and being okay with you not being okay with yourself right now. That's such a, I think so many people have this facade of like, oh, I don't want to, admit to like failure. Not that this is necessarily failure, but just acknowledging that. And like, again, we were talking about that point, I think is so important and so crucial to be aware of. And, it's so hard, because like, I don't want to sound like a like a guru. He needs to start waking up at 5 a.m. and take cold plunges like Amadeo has. But it starts with a conversation and being honest with yourself. I think this is a conversation, and I think to answer his question, I think it's also important to say that we said it, but just to really acknowledge it. Yes, everyone. I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone, but at least you and I can relate to that. We've had that wall we've hit of, I don't feel like I'm headed in the right direction, and it's so hard, because this idea of like not comparing yourself to other people, and he talks a lot about we talked about people he went to high school he doesn't talk to, and they're in different directions and whatnot. And once you leave high school, whether you decide to go higher education or not, is that a question, but the point is, you leave this kind of like world where you were cared for and kind of like stringed along. You come to this realization that There's no one that's like checking in on you to make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. You're heading towards a goal. You have a goal. And you could get lost in that if you don't have good support systems in your life.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to bring up as well. Because this person, they don't have a support system. That's what I can gather from this. Not even your family is checking up on you. And you feel like if you fell off the face of the earth tomorrow and no one would even like change anything or notice.
Right.
Upon the realization that a change has to take place and this change is going to hurt and it's going to feel awkward and it might feel embarrassing. And, you know, it's that like that pressure when you push against the boundary of your comfort zone and, you know, it's just like, oh, like, I don't like how this feels. It's terrible. But breaking the shell and going beyond.
Right.
At this point, you have to realize that like what I require right now, if it were me in this exact situation, what I would focus on next is finding those support systems.
It'd be a whole hour-long conversation if we talk about what he needs to do to change his life. But like just like as a starting point, like what can he do? Like let's say today he reached out to, let's say we were his one friend. Like what would we say that he could start tomorrow as like just a starting basis?
Here's an actionable thing. What I would do, like if I were to reach out to you, or if you were to reach out to me and you told me this, I would say to you, all right, Enrique, like I don't really like doing this either, but it's helped me in the past, and I think it's worth a shot at the very least. It will take you maybe no more than 15, 20 minutes. Get a piece of paper or anything that you can write on and write down the habits that you have every day. Everything that you can think of. What do you do? What time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed? What do you do throughout the day? Try to find a pattern and then identify what isn't serving you. Because there's a reason you feel this way. Right. The reason you feel this way, your lifestyle is an accumulation of all the habits that you have. Think about things that are within your control. You know, it's another thing to talk about, like, you know, economic circumstances, or like if someone lives in a different country as opposed to the United States, or depending on your background, whatever that might be. Let's just think about like a baseline and think about things that are well within your control. Your sleeping habits, your eating habits,
right?
Your general lifestyle.
Even like, because it's so hard to like tell someone like change everything, you know. And like an advice like I was thinking about was I was listening to Century. It was like the CEO that was talking about how every single thing she does, she thinks about like what is the best version I could do right now. As simple as what that means is I wake up from bed, like I could scroll on my phone, but the best thing for me to do right now is like get up, make my bed, and then like go on a walk. Like always thinking about that in the littlest terms to the biggest terms of right now, 15 minutes, like let me work on this specific thing to like make, like I said, making your bed. And it's hard to like tell someone, oh, change your life tomorrow by like doing all these things, but it's more of like, what are the small steps? You know,
gradual.
Like
that's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
So like just by identifying all of these habits in your life doesn't mean that you got to flip the switch and everything just goes out the window tomorrow, because that's not sustainable.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Like I've tried to do this in the past where like, yes, I wrote everything down. I kind of came to this understanding of like, this is what I'm doing that's not very productive, and it's taking me away from living the life that I want. But then trying to change everything overnight, I'm like, I can't hold on.
Yeah.
I
don't think anyone can.
I'm too tempted to go back to the comfort.
Yeah.
Tempted to go back to what I know. So realization is the first step. I would make the specific suggestion of just taking a moment to just write things down. What are your distractions? What are your habits? What do you want to change?
Yeah. Actually, you know what would be the best thing to do for him? Because he's like spending times on Instagram and Reels and stuff, spending his hours, is look up Be Somebody podcast and then hit follow. Yeah. And he would get this served to him.
No, and then his life would change overnight, honestly. Just like
so
that.
Follow the Be Somebody podcast.
Just like that.
On TikTok and Instagram.
That easy. Like
it's that easy. Yeah, I mean.
You hear about magic pills. It's like just go to
There is a magic pill, and it's to Be Somebody.
Hit subscribe, hit follow. Smash that like button.
Okay, but back to the actual
in all seriousness.
But in all seriousness, like it very much like all seriousness, like it does kind of start like that, you know, cleaning up, you know, the algorithm to, you know, maybe you know, throw in small progressive change, you know, like whether it's like I'm gonna start listening to like you're interested in, and then this is making it up. Like maybe he's interested in business. He starts following some, I don't know, business channels that can inspire him or give him more like understanding of like learning to give him in the right direction.
That's an amazing point, because I feel like, some people may suggest that you just need to get off of social media entirely.
Yeah.
You need to hit delete on Instagram.
Right.
Let's be realistic. That's probably not going to happen.
Right.
And I don't think, I'm not going to sit here and dismiss social media or like say like, yeah,
because there's a lot of good that comes
because number one, I use it.
Yeah.
We use it for our business, for our platform.
Right.
There is a benefit depending on how you use it, of course.
For sure. Yeah.
If you are trying to learn new things, if you're following interesting creators, it depends on like, of course, you don't want to end up comparing yourself to other people, right. But maybe even just like people who are completely unrelated to things that you want to do, but you find them inspiring because of their work ethic, their personality, their life, their history, whatever they've done. Sure. If that like brings you some kind of,
I mean, the whole reason he reached this point, I mean, the whole action of comparing himself to this guy was the bad part, but him opening his eyes, oh, there's someone else out there that's like living their best version of their life, like viewing it as maybe like, how can I get to that? He got that because of social media and stuff. So there's definitely like benefits to it, and I think an excess of anything is bad for you, but yeah, everything was in moderation. But yeah, like back what you're talking about, like small changes to his everyday habits, because anyone can say, oh, change your life tomorrow by doing all this, but that's not what we're saying. It's small things like like writing down his habits, reaching out in your local community, what other things that you can join to find people that are like-minded or wanna essentially like start changing, whether it's finding a mentor or finding a group of, I don't know, it's hard to like prescribe fitness to someone, but if they're not necessarily, because it's not for everyone, it's like it is a certain specific type of hobby, but finding a community of people that want to go work out, or whether it's rock climbing or whatnot, but it's a group of individuals that have a purpose that are driving one another, pushing one another, and that comes in sports. But there's also other things like
that could be applied to a very wide spectrum of activities. Right. So whatever you're interested in, especially like if you live in an incredible city like LA, even if you don't, you can find someone else who's interested in something that you aren't also interested in. This is where I once again mentioned discomfort, because that's effort. You have to go out there. You got to look.
Right.
Like that's not going to fall into your lap. That's not going to fall from the sky.
Yeah.
You have to go out there. You have to search and put yourself out there. And that's what feels uncomfortable. Like I'm too used to kind of being in here, doing my thing, kind of, just existing within my space. If I go out there, what am I going to find? What are people going to think of me? What am I too weird to like fit in anywhere? Like, am I too far gone? The answer is no.
Yeah.
But you got to try. But don't do it all at once.
Right.
Like we said, that's not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
But once you got that support system in, and you got some real people that you can turn to, and you just feel like I'm part of this thing, and these people inspire me, I feel like I'm kind of doing the same thing for them as well. And we show each other what we're up to. We check in on each other. This is also, that's another conversation. It does kind of become a little bit difficult as we've experienced, in our late 20s, maintaining a community.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like kind of the key word, maintain.
Right.
Because that's that effort.
Mm-hmm.
So right here in this situation, little by little, get out there.
Yeah.
And switch it up. Find a new job, build new habits, find new friends, new communities, new groups. And then say,
communities like this.
Communities like
this.
Where people who care,
they
talk to you.
Right.
And they share what they know.
Exactly.
And they want to see you succeed.
Exactly.
So that's the kind. And also, once again, 23 years old.
Yeah,
you got your whole life ahead of you.
I don't make it sound like unks or anything, but like,
he's got
a whole life ahead of himself.
There's so much time.
Yeah. A year is a long time.
And even us,
you
dude.
Do a lot
27 and 29.
No, bro, chill, dude. About to hit me with a damn. No, dude, I'm not 29, man.
But like, even us, like, there's still a whole life is ahead of you, man.
Yeah.
even beyond, just because you're in your 40s or in your 50s or beyond
Right.
doesn't mean that it's over. Like, you gotta like just
Yeah,
settle with what you
for
got.
sure,
Like, if you
for
want to
sure.
make a change, you're able to make a change.
For sure.
Like we said, the philosophy of be somebody, just to realize that you have the power
Mm-hmm.
to, yeah, to reach your potential, to make a difference,
Yeah.
to have an impact. Be somebody impactful. Be somebody enthusiastic. Be somebody inspired.
Exactly.
Be somebody who cares, as we said.
Exactly.
So I truly hope the situation improves for you. I know you can do it.
Yeah.
And this is what we would do if we were in this situation, because we've been there. And it's that difficult realization where, yeah, you wake up to the fact that change is needed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be easy. And I might not like it at first, but the end result, you'll be, wow. It's incredible the progress that you can make even in 6 months.
Yeah.
Let alone, yeah, dude, a year. So much can change in a year.
So much can change.
But that's through consistency, not making sudden drastic changes overnight.
For sure.
Because that's not sustainable.
And that's just even advice that we're taking ourselves. Like, with this whole, a year from now, we'll see what we're at.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right, my friend.
Next story.
This person says, my friend is cheap and inconsiderate, and everyone is starting to complain about him behind his back. Okay. This friend group,
it's always money.
This person says, we're all 20 years old. We've been friends since middle school. My friend, who is the cheap and inconsiderate one, is the most financially well off of everybody in the friend group. His father pays his rent. He gets an allowance, and through this allowance and through this support, he technically on paper makes more money than everyone else who works a job to pay their bills, to pay their rent. So when the group goes out, when they get some food, when they're having a good time, the friend who is cheap and who is inconsiderate, they don't typically offer to pay their fair share or to maybe, do one a favor and hopefully, as friends do, I'll get you back next time. Where, this friend expects to maybe like get some fries off of someone's plate, but like if someone reaches for the fries on his plate, then he'll say something. There was a situation where the friends were at a pub and it was time to leave. Everyone had been drinking, so now no one's going to drive, so of course they're going to call an Uber. The friend that they're discussing stalled for half an hour and was complaining that the Uber would be $35. So then when it was convenient, this friend ordered an Uber for himself, ditched everybody else, and left them on their own. At this point, the friends are leaving this other guy out of the hangout. Whenever they get together, they don't really tell him about it. And now whenever they do get together, they kind of talk about him. And people are upset. The person who posted this originally, they go and say that this person who they're discussing is a sweet guy. He's just stuck in his own head and he lacks empathy. He can't put himself in anybody else's shoes. No one has told him how he's behaving. But even his closest friends are complaining about him constantly. And at this point, they just feel as though they're not being respected in this friend group. Right. They feel as though this person is taking advantage of them and feel as though this person doesn't seem to understand them or to care about their situation and to see as though like, bro, we're not asking you to take care of everything. We're asking you to just be fair, because this is like everyone else is being fair.
Right. But wait, is that?
There's a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So the final question is, do I take the hit for everyone in my friend group and confront my friend directly to tell him about how insane he is with how he's acting? Or is it better for just everyone to just keep suffering in silence until someone out there in the world tells him that he's being unbearable, that he should rethink his actions? How do I even go about talking about this?
Right.
As an important context, this the friend that they're complaining about went through a traumatic event while they were in high school, where a very close loved one passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So
But it doesn't say how long, like years has gone by.
I would assume, like, since these guys are all 20, they've been friends since middle school. I would assume
Right.
that this traumatic event happened within the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's context, not necessarily an
Mm-hmm.
excuse, but context.
I was literally about to say, like, I feel like that is good context, but I don't know if that necessarily like is tied to his actions of being inconsiderate in terms of, you know, all these like financial things.
Mm-hmm.
I think like first and foremost, it's like jumping at me is, you know, he's describing them as a friend, you know, as someone that's in their circle that they've known for a while and all this, but it seems like there's this lack of, you know, the roles that comes with being a friend of like, hey, I care about you. Do you
Yep.
care about me? Like, I
Yep.
want to talk to you about this. It seems like that big aspect isn't there, which, you know, could be that some friend groups don't have that, you know? I've always been, you know, you and I have always been, you know, if, hey, I care about you, like, let's talk about something. But it seems like they're missing this element right here, which is like honestly, but the thing that solves this issue for me at least is, you know, first and foremost, like, if you care about this person and like, you know, this sounds like you do, you should talk to him. You should pull him aside. I feel a bit like iffy about this whole idea of like the whole friend group confronting him, because it could come off as like we're attacking you.
Mm-hmm.
I would maybe first approach like one-on-one and see like, yeah, just hear them out, because you just don't know like what they're going through, if they're still going through something.
I agree. And I think when I was thinking about this, when I was first reading this, I want to preface this by saying that things are different when you leave high school, when you leave college,
Right.
when you go out into the real world, you know, the key word being real, where people are growing up, they're gaining new responsibilities. Everyone's got their goals, they got their lives. They're trying to like, you know, be out there, especially when you're just 20. Like you're barely like getting up and you're realizing like the potential, like here's what I can do with my life. Like, oh man, like I'm almost done with college, or maybe I am done with college. Like what now, man?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you begin to realize that things change fast. And friends, maintaining a friend group, there you go, maintenance, once again, saying that thing. It's not just like, you know, you're not seeing each other every single day anymore.
Right. Yeah. People's schedules change.
All of a sudden, and it can happen fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it can give you like whiplash, bro. Like I thought we were all boys, and all of a sudden, like, dude, I'm seeing you once a month, man.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important. I would like to underscore the importance of conversation, of having these mature discussions and tough interactions, where it's just like you got to speak what's on your mind. And I think it's important, it's valid how you feel, especially if you're friends, especially if you've been friends since middle school.
Right.
That's what, for these guys, 7-8 years. So there's already that bond, there's that trust. Those are years of memories to back up this relationship. This isn't like somebody you just met a few months ago, you're like just trying to get to know, you think it's kind of cool, but they're acting this way. This is a kind of a bond.
Right.
And so I really agree, and I really love what you said. We're like, this guy reading this, he sounds like he cares a lot. But I think that caring needs action.
Yeah.
And through that, a one-on-one conversation where you don't speak for the group, you speak for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I feel this way because of this and this, or because of what you did, or, you know, it's important to use these statements that kind of come from you, because then we can sound accusatory or like we're attacking somebody, and that instantly turns a conversation into an argument, and that's not productive whatsoever. So in this situation where things are hot, tension is high, people are talking smack.
It's the talking smack which makes you feel a bit like, ooh,
like not invited.
You're talking bad about
like,
your friend behind their back.
Yeah, like
I don't know, it makes me question like how close of friends they are. Yeah.
There you go. It's almost like, do you care about this relationship, or are you just kind of like holding on out of pity, or are you holding on
Right.
you know. And like, also, why are you letting your friends talk smack? Like, you may feel like you've been slighted by this behavior, like you feel like it's not fair, but like, are you making personal attacks, or are you saying like, I don't think this is fair, like maybe we should have a conversation about this, because like he didn't used to act this way. That's actually one more thing I wanted to bring up, where this is probably the first time in these guys' lives, in like the history of their friend group, that this behavior from this friend is most obvious.
Right.
Because you're probably not really seeing that like in high school,
and
definitely not in middle school,
right.
maybe in college, maybe, but you know, this privilege that this person enjoys has probably become the most obvious now that they are like out in the world, paying their bills, paying their own rent, working.
Right.
And like, you know, they use whatever is in their budget to like go out and have a nice time.
Right. And yeah, I feel like strongly about everything we've said. I think just one last thing just to like sprinkle it on top and just like also normalize and say it's okay. Like, I think the older we get, the more people grow, and sometimes people grow apart. And I think it is okay, like, let's just say down a path that they make an effort to reach out. They don't really, you know, hear them out or anything. They don't change anything or any behavior. Like, it is okay to no longer have people in your life that you feel like, you know, aren't that friend for you. You know, you're willing to do something for them, they aren't for you. It's totally okay to like put yourself first and put people not in your life no longer. Like, that's totally fine. And I think it's super important if this is one of those situations. You know, we don't know. You know, we don't know if they talk to him or will talk to him. But I think it is important to know that you don't have to try to fix everything and try to like meet them in the middle or anything. If you extend a hand and they don't reach back to grab it, then it's totally okay then.
Because it's also, you know, it's not your responsibility how someone else feels or behaves. Right. And you may not be able to change them. However, I think it's like a demonstration of self-respect.
Right.
Where like you have these feelings and you express them and you say that, bro, like I just want to keep it real with you. Like, I've been feeling this way because of what you did. And I wanted to talk about just a little bit more about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, and if that like becomes a nice productive conversation, great. If that turns into an argument, or it's like extremely, you know, he becomes extremely defensive or just isn't receptive or like doesn't seem to care at all about what you have to say. Yeah, then maybe, you know, maybe this relationship isn't the best for me right now.
Right.
And these aren't really the kind of friends that I want to have in my life.
Yeah. Agree. 100%.
So the tough conversations.
The tough
moments.
Beyond the couch.
So
nice.
If it matters to you, that's why you should do it. Well, good luck to these friends. I hope, what should work out does work out, and they find peace.
Right.
Next one. My girlfriend, 27 female, broke up with me, 27 male, and I'm struggling so much.
Been there, man.
This guy describes how his girlfriend broke up with him because she's going through a lot in her life right now, and she's struggling, and she feels as though she can't be emotionally available for the relationship. Just trying to, you know, piece some things together, make some progress, stop feeling so, I suppose, overwhelmed, stressed. This guy goes on to say that he doesn't think they'll get back together. It took him by surprise, as he genuinely felt as though he wanted to be there through it all, to help her out, hold her hand, give her an encouraging word, like just be there. Now that it's over, now that they've separated, he's struggling. Says it's been a week and he can't stop crying. Every time he thinks about her, he just breaks down.
Right.
He says it was an amicable breakup. Good terms. And they still speak occasionally. He says he wants to be comfortable with these memories, as they were genuinely all so lovely and important. And of course, you're still going to feel very strongly about this person. He says, am I doing something wrong? Is this normal?
Yeah, damn.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it might be his, I don't know, it might be his first breakup. I'm curious, but aside from that, like, I mean, first and foremost, yeah, that's totally normal. He's a week into a breakup. Yeah, of course. A week into a breakup, you feel like everything's over. You're blasting Frank Ocean. You're literally just not getting out of bed. Yeah, everything he's talking about is 100% right. I like, hats off to him that it doesn't sound like there's any sense of like blaming myself.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like there's any, I don't want to say hatred, but like, you know, energy towards her.
Yeah, like
like you said, it came from both sides. Yeah, it's normal. You know, the cliche of time heals all, but really, like, I think he just needs more time.
It's just like, you know, hearing that fresh out of a breakup, that doesn't help whatsoever. But it's
Yeah.
just like, it's the ultimate truth that time truly will make it feel better.
Yeah.
To kind of tolerate.
Right.
When it comes to like a breakup in a relationship, you know, both people, if especially it was on good terms and, you know, you're just moving on.
Yeah.
It becomes this, at least for me, when I think about the relationships I've had in the past that didn't work out, and when they were so fresh, everything was raw and it hurt, and I was like thinking about what could have been done differently. How did it get to this point? I can't imagine myself like moving forward. Fast forward to today, bro. It's just like, I kind of see it with gratitude.
Yeah.
That I'm thankful that I was able to share this with this person, and I don't think about the difficulty. I don't think about like the moments where it was where it was tough,
right?
Where I don't know, hurtful words were exchanged or whatever might have been going on,
right?
It's just like I think this contributed to. Yeah, I love this, and I love the time that I had, and I love that I was able to share this with this person. And
yeah,
I feel lucky for having gone through it.
Yeah,
and yeah, they're a part of my life.
Right. I have a kind of unpopular take to say about this.
Please.
I know I'm gonna upset some people, but you know, again, this is all hindsight. But honestly, like, I almost kind of want to tell him just to like feel the hurt, feel the pain, because I think you realize like how beautiful it is to feel so strongly about someone. And I think to me, it was just like just a reminder of like, you know, oh wow, I truly did, I truly loved, I truly felt, you know, because those emotions are so real, and there's something beautiful about that, about just like feeling that, you know, feeling the lowest to the low, but you also get to feel the highest of the high. Because there's not like many times in life like that emotion overcomes you, you know. And I don't know, I personally feel like there's something beautiful about that, even though it's so painful and it hurts.
What helped you out in those moments to start to kind of not distract yourself, but slowly move on?
I think like feeling the pain,
especially in the beginning,
and the hurt of it, I think kind of like in a beautiful way I translate it as like, oh, all of this means like truly like how strong our connection was and how good it was, you know. And I think there's something beautiful about that, you know. I think like you leave it like knowing that it was real and like it was good. And I don't know, I feel like it's just one of those things where every single thing that you experience is new with someone, and nothing will ever like be that same to that same degree, because everything's like, everyone and every connection relationship is so unique and special. And I think it's important to go through that. I mean, everyone goes through it, which sucks, you know.
The good and the bad contributed to who I am today.
Right.
You broke up because something wasn't working out, not because of something terrible that happened, or like you were, you know, betrayed, or, you know, these were relationships that perhaps you felt, you know, maybe, I don't know, any factors. They were moving away for a job. They felt that they were going through something that they couldn't be around for the relationship anymore.
Right.
Or like you just, I don't feel like so you're a different person. You've kind of maybe outgrown this, or you just want to see something different. It's just, where you kind of come to an understanding that, you know, the relationship can't continue. Long distance, for one, that's also a big one. If you come to this understanding where it's just like, yeah, you recognize the relationship might not be able to work, and this is what they want to do, okay, that's where like this realization that's just like, yeah, like this pain that I feel, it really, really hurts, and I really love this person so much, and it was very important what had happened to me. I think like that's when you can like kind of reflect on the emotions that you feel.
Right.
If it were a bad breakup over something terrible, of course it's still gonna hurt. Of course it's still gonna cause all sorts of different emotions within you. Anger probably being a big one. That's when it becomes a little bit different than maybe like we should really focus on this pain and this betrayal.
Right.
But I do agree with you that like love is a beautiful thing.
Right.
Especially when connections are so deep and so strong. And God, oh my God, it hurts so bad. Like,
it does.
You really like yeah, people talk about it all the time, but it's just like you like to feel a genuine breakup, heartbreak.
Oof. It's like one of the worst things in the world. Honestly. Now that I'm like really thinking about it, man, oof. Yeah.
It is so guttural.
I think it's good to hear like there is no quick fix.
No.
And that applies to like any sort of action that you may be feeling that you can do to take that away.
Yep.
Like there is no quick fix. Like just know that anything you do will not take it away. So just.
It is normal, bro.
Yeah.
But just be careful not to like fall into this these like patterns of obsessing over like what you had. Like don't be scrolling through your phone looking at old photos. Don't be like scrolling through it looking at text messages. Yeah. Don't be constantly thinking about what y'all have been through and
or
like
overanalyzing conversation.
Yeah, and like your plans for the future that aren't gonna work out anymore.
Right.
Like it's so difficult, but you have to have this. Now is the time to be strong.
Yeah.
And even though you're feeling this thing, and it's perfectly okay to feel this thing, perfectly normal. You're not doing anything wrong. You gotta slowly turn the focus back on you, man, because this is what your partner decided.
Right.
That one may argue that it is selfish, but I don't think so. I would argue that maybe this was selfless. Like I can't give you what you need in this relationship. I can't be that partner for you because of what I'm going through right now. I don't see this becoming any better in a reasonably short amount of time. Like I can't just tell you like, yo, we got to lock in for 6 months. And then like at the end of these 6 months, like we might actually have a relationship again.
Yeah.
I can't promise you something like that because this tells me that these people are very mature and reasonable.
They sound very mature.
So of course it's going to suck. Of course, that's the last thing you want to hear. Of course, you're going to say, but I know you're going through this, but like, I'm with you. You know, I'm there with you. I'm trying to be there for you.
Yeah.
But just for like, you know, this partnership, partnership's the best. Yeah. Give and take. And if you feel like you're kind of like, I can't give anything right now. That doesn't mean I don't love you. That doesn't mean I'm not going to cherish what we had.
Yeah.
But I think it's best for the both of us that we go on our separate ways.
Right. Because
right now, like I need to figure this out.
Right.
So, and I think it's also mature and reasonable to say that, like, I don't think we should have the expectation that we'll get back together.
Yeah.
If the stars align, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of what ifs that we don't know.
You can't even say things like that.
But I think just the important aspect is just to know that yes, it's okay what you're feeling.
Yep.
It will get better, as much as like you will hate to hear that.
Yep.
It just goes day by day, and I think more importantly, like, don't do anything rash to like change like how beautifully it ended. You know, don't sour anything. Just like give her what sounds like she needs, which is like space to do what she needs to do. And
tempting as it may be, sometimes don't lose control.
Yeah.
Don't.
yeah.
Don't like go on a bender.
Again, there's no quick fixes.
Maybe don't dye your hair if you haven't been wanting to all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Don't go looking for a quick fix. Don't like.
But I mean, there is. I don't want to say quick fix, but there is things you can do to like help yourself, which is like things that are good for you. Whether it's
your support group.
Your support group, like doing if you want to do any like physical activities in terms of like exercising and whatnot, or hobbies or like things that you're passionate about, whether it's like, oh, now's my time to like really focus in on my like career and like do these certifications and want to do like any other things, I don't know, learn Portuguese, what do I know?
Yeah.
Time will heal, you'll be okay, take it day by day.
All right, this next one, this person says, never listen to Frank Ocean. Recently I broke up with my girlfriend and I was playing GTA and Ivy was on the radio and I cried.
Dude, not Ivy. What a way to get introduced to Frank Ocean on GTA and the Blonde radio.
I'm surprised it took this long, man.
He's crying in the lobby, just driving around Santa Monica.
Driving around the digital sunset.
Oh my god.
They're flying around that because they got a flying car now. My gosh.
He started crying?
He says, I cried.
Wow.
And then this person goes on to say, Blonde is a good album for breakups? They're asking.
Oh.
I want
It's the album for breakups.
I want to cry more.
I mean, there's the whole like
Yes.
There's the whole like when Frank Ocean performed in what was like 2015 or 14, I might get dates wrong. He was performing and Brad Pitt came on and he was reacting to basically like once he broke up with Angelina Jolie, that Frank Ocean's song like singing live was what got him through that breakup, through that divorce.
If you haven't seen that performance, I think it's Panorama.
Yeah.
New York City 2017.
2017.
Very famous performance. Oh my gosh. Mind blowing.
Mind blowing.
Incredible.
That's the album to cry to.
The intimacy, the artistry, the vulnerability, the honesty.
Right.
Blonde is one of my favorite albums of all time.
It's a masterpiece.
It will always be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of what I was going through at the time of its release. And then just, here comes this thing on the radio. I didn't really listen to Frank Ocean much before either. I was familiar with Channel Orange, Pyramids, with Pyramids was like the number one, of course. And then also
Novocaine.
And why am I blanking all of a sudden, man? Calling myself a fan. I can't even name 5 songs, bro.
But yeah, I mean, Frank Ocean is so memorable to
Pilot Jones.
There you go,
Anyway,
yeah.
so Blonde, Blonde releases, it comes on.
Yeah.
Track after track of just hearing someone describe emotions that I didn't have the words for myself, but that I could instantly connect with.
Yeah. When you speak about like the low point that is a breakup, like trying to put into words was undescribable before Blonde came around. Now there's words for it, and that is self-control, Ivy,
Solo,
yeah,
Godspeed,
ooh,
White Ferrari.
Oh, dude, not Godspeed, man. Damn, Godspeed. Yeah.
So also beyond the lyrics.
Yeah. Would you know for Godspeed, James Blake was the original writer for that. He was the original producer, composer, and he has his own version of it that honestly is like kind of like rivals Frank Ocean's take of Godspeed. I would totally listen to it if you haven't.
Shout out James, another very talented artist.
I think he's a shout out. He's a good friend.
He's the boy.
He's the boy.
But what I wanted to say was beyond the lyrics as well, just the soundscapes that Frank was able to create through this production, and his team, just sinking into these emotions that, yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
You can't really describe them, but I kind of feel it. And this feels like various stages of my relationship, or even just like my understanding of what it means to be in a relationship, what it means to be in love. And never forgetting that. Yeah. Perfect breakup album.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only advice I have to him is to change the channel on GTA to Los Tucanes de Tijuana to La Chona. And
yeah, bro, get turned.
And maybe he'll find joy there.
Avoid your feelings, avoid your breakup.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
So, I Want to Cry More. Blonde is a good album to do that.
Agreed.
On that note, y'all, this is the community episode.
Yeah.
Where in this specific style, we break down stories that we find online and discuss them from our perspective.
Yeah, for sure. And like Amadeo said, we were just taking into face value. We haven't really read any comments or anything. We don't know if you do find these stories online yourself. No idea what people are saying or if there's other context. We just take it by its body paragraph and the title.
Yeah. What do you think about what we've talked about?
Yeah. What do you?
You got to take? Send it to us.
Exactly.
Send us a DM. Send us an email. And yeah, we'd love to hear what you got to say.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, y'all. This
Catch
Be Somebody.
See you
Catch you next time.
Time.